and welcome to the Energy Within podcast with Chelynne and Cathrine, where we discuss womanhood, motherhood, spirituality, and more.
On today's episode, we are going to be talking about divine feminine energy, kind of giving you a quick introduction to it, basement level, and we'll go deeper throughout the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this
You
episode.
always say that.
I know, because we talk about things that I'm passionate about.
That's true. That we do. We do.
And I get excited.
You're very excited for this one because you have been waiting a long time for me to
share, yeah. And every time I get like little tidbits
of
it, I'm just like, I need more.
But the thing
there's so much more to this, I know it.
There is so much to it, and that's part of the problem is trying to explain it to you, and even trying to like map out how we wanted to do this episode. Is there's so much, and it leads into things, and then all the things connect, as we discussed earlier this morning. And so this is truly like the first glimpse into a huge topic that we're going to cover. Yeah. That might take us for the rest of our lives.
That's okay.
That's okay.
It's ever evolving.
So we're talking about divine feminine energy. And to start off, I want to explain the differences, the connections, and what that exactly means with divine masculine energy as well. So everybody, regardless of your sex or your gender or anything like that, everybody has divine masculine and divine feminine, or the capability for it, within you. We all have wounds and things like that impact our masculine and feminine energy and how it shows up in ourselves and in the way we interact with the world. And a really good visualization to have in your brain is the yin-yang symbol.
Yeah.
Everybody probably knows what that is. So the yin-yang symbol, one side is white and one side is black with the white and black dots crossed, to show that we each have both within us, and they are interconnected and they never end, and one leads into the other, and it's all this. So what's a visualization? What's a way to say this? Together?
Swirling.
Yeah, swirling. It's all swirling together.
It's swirling together.
So most people live in their masculine. I won't say live in their divine masculine because that's rare. But most people live in their masculine because we live in a masculine world. Our laws are typically made by men. Our clocks and our businesses run on masculine time, and according to the masculine energy cycle, as we've discussed in like our cycle syncing videos and things like that. So most people will be more aligned with their masculine energy than their feminine energy, which can be good, but it can also be a detriment if their masculine energy is wounded or if they are in their toxic masculine energy. And we're going to be using very gendered terms today, like he and her and she and him and masculine and feminine, but just know that I'm not talking specifically about women and men as separate entities. No. I'll try to be really clear when I am describing an actual person, but for the most part, I'm talking about energy that's in within every single person.
Everybody has a feminine and a masculine aspects to themselves.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. To me, it like baseline feminine energy is they have the ideas, they're creative, they intuitive, that sort of thing. And then the masculine is the part of you that gets that stuff done.
Exactly.
So like you have the idea and then you make it happen.
Yeah. So to like put it into terms of this podcast, our feminine energy had the idea to start this podcast.
Yes.
But our masculine energy sat down and made our websites and made our stuff. And our feminine energy gets the inspiration for our episodes. Our masculine energy writes down the notes. Yeah. That's probably like a really easy way to explain it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And so because we live in a more masculine centered world, it is very hard for the feminine to rise up and find her power and find her peace and her place in society. There's terms like you hit like a girl and you run like a girl. And those terms are meant to belittle and repress the feminine as if the feminine is wrong somehow, as if it's weaker. And it's not. It's really, really, really not. It's not better than the masculine either. Like it's
strong in its own way.
It's strong in its own way. And it's equitable. They are what they are, and they are together. And it's The problem comes when we are trying to compare it, like saying things like girls can do anything boys can do. And that is a really toxic mindset. And we'll get into that in different episodes. I won't get into that too much today. But we need to remember that there is nothing wrong with hitting like a girl. There is nothing wrong with running like a girl. That's fine. It's good. It's great if that's who you are.
It's who you are, exactly.
So you'll hear me use the terms wounded and divine. So wounded masculine energy versus divine masculine energy, wounded feminine energy versus divine feminine energy. And we actually have a chart. A quadrant. Thank you so much. A quadrant.
Oh, look at me go.
Good word. I was never going to think of that word.
Quadrant.
To give you like kind of a really quick explanation. So masculine energy, the wounded masculine energy says you're not good enough and you have to do more and you have to do it better. And even if you achieve something great, why didn't you do it better? That voice lives in my head a lot. I have very wounded masculine energy. I'm working on it. Whereas divine masculine energy says, I love and accept you for exactly who you are. And that's a really good message, obviously.
Yeah.
Wounded feminine energy says, how can I be more and do more in order to be worthy of receiving love, basically. And that is also something that I carry with me. I also have very wounded feminine energy.
Yeah, when I was writing this down, I was like, ooh, these are hitting some deep spots within me.
And then, but your divine feminine energy will say that I love myself exactly the way I am. And that the divine masculine ideal and the divine feminine ideal are what we're working towards. That is our higher powers, basically. Yeah. And then you take the two and you marry them together, and then it's beautiful.
Marry them together.
Inside. So to make a final-ish point here on masculine, because this episode is of course about feminine, just so that you have a baseline for understanding the differences. Masculine energy is problem-solving, analytical, grounded, protective, action-oriented, and competitive and ambitious. So all of those attributes, again, can be within any person, should be within people to some degree, and things that we can tap into at any time. And all of those traits are neutral. So you can be divinely competitive and you can be wounded competitive.
Ooh.
So
like a sorry loser or a sorry winner?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Good.
Give me go.
Yeah. So yeah, sitting down to play a board game, you can walk into the game being like, I love myself. This is a metaphor, obviously. I love myself. Whatever happens in this game is fine. I love everybody else sitting at this table because it's probably your family or friends. And everything's fine. And that's divine masculine.
That's how I literally play every board game or every game.
Good for you.
I'm just like, I don't care if I win or lose.
I'm just here
to play.
Yeah. But the wounded or the toxic masculine will be like, I have to win, and if I don't win, I suck and I'm the worst.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
I don't know. Angry boy sounds.
Angry
masculine sounds. Yeah. Divine feminine, however. Let's go into divine feminine. Our purpose for this episode.
Yes.
Feminine, neutral, are creative, expressive, inspiring, flowing, playful, nurturing, and intuitive. And again, those are neutral terms that can be interpreted depending on for positive or negative forces, depending on if you're wounded or if you are in your divine. And it can be one day you wake up and you are great, and maybe you're in your divine one day, and maybe you're not so great the next day, something happens. So don't think of it too much as like a linear transition. With any healing process, you will have
good days and bad days.
Good days and bad days.
Because we're human.
Yeah. Our purpose for sharing this episode with you, of course, is to educate and inspire. But you might be asking, well, why? Why do I need to know this? Why do I need to know this? What purpose will unlocking divine feminine energy do for my life? And I have an answer for you. I have to read it, but I do have an answer for you. Unlocking your divine feminine energy will give you a connection with your higher self. It will increase love for yourself and others because you'll be speaking and moving and acting from like a calmer, more loving place, nurturing place. You will get heightened intuition. You'll experience more joy daily. Have heightened connection to your five senses and your sense of self and the world around you. You'll have more self-compassion for yourself and for others, which is a great thing to have in this world, and a feeling of oneness within yourself and the universe. And
one is all and one is no.
All for one.
One is all and all is one.
Oh, I was going the Three Musketeers route. All for one and one for all.
No, I know. You said the Knight's Table last time I brought it up too.
Knight's a different thing.
Mine is too.
Her thing is more aligned with what we're talking about.
Exactly.
So based on the world that we live in, your feminine energy is most likely being repressed unless you happen to live in the middle of the woods in a cabin. You're probably not watching this episode anyway. And you don't have any external forces. You probably have some repressed feminine energy. And there isn't a whole lot we can really do about external forces. We can change our environments and things like that, and of course you should. But there's things that you do, most likely, that and can change about the way that you treat yourself and the others around you that impede and harm your divine feminine energy. And so I'm going to go through that list pretty quick here, just so that you can kind of be aware of daily actions to change in your life, so that you can hopefully increase more divine feminine vibes. Such as avoiding asking for help and resisting when others offer to help or give you help. Don't do that. A big part of feminine energy is being open to abundance and to receiving, and pushing people away and saying, I can do this all by myself, is not feminine. That is very masculine. And there's a fine line, specifically with this one, that goes toxic really, really quickly and really, really fast. Not being able to trust yourself and trust others. So don't do that. Another one is a deep-seated, and I'm projecting heavily here, a deep-seated need to prove oneself and to base your worth off of external validation. I am an author. We are both authors. And I will only really think I'm a good author if other people tell me I'm a good author, even though I know I'm good or else I wouldn't write. But yeah, it's just there's nothing wrong with accepting compliments.
Yep.
Say thank you.
Yes.
When you get a compliment.
Yeah, compliments are huge.
But don't base your self-worth off of the compliment and getting the compliments.
Yeah. Your self-worth needs to come from within, solely within.
Yes. Other things that you might be doing to stifle your feminine energy. And again, we are women, we are talking to women, but this applies to everybody, just to reiterate that. Not prioritizing self-care is really detrimental to your feminine energy. And also stifling and ignoring your intuition. Our intuition is very, very linked to our feminine energy. So if you get little inklings of intuition in your body, wherever it might be, according to your human design, it is different for everyone. Then if you repress that or ignore that, each time you do that, you're repressing your feminine energy.
Well, and like not only that, but like stifling your self-trust and your intuition itself and your self-worth. Like if you're not worthy enough to have that intuition, then why bother?
Yeah, it's all connected. It's all connected.
Yeah.
Another one is viewing your emotions as bad or weak. I cry, so therefore I am weak. I am angry, therefore I am weak. I am not perfectly calm and positive all the time, therefore I am weak.
That one makes me feel so attacked. Ooh.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm just being a little emotional right now.
And
it's okay.
And it's not a bad thing. It does not make you weak.
No, I know.
I remember I was fighting with an ex once, and he was like, oh, you just cry to get out of arguments. And it's like, do you think I want to cry?
Yeah.
Do you think I want to sit here?
For everything. When I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm grateful, when I'm full of love, tears.
Always.
Always.
Yeah. Also, villainizing your own masculine energy. So I am a person who has more masculine than feminine energy, I think. I don't know. I have to explore that a little bit more. My masculine energy is more prominent than my feminine energy because I am very, very, very ambitious and I like doing a lot of things at once and I am fairly good at it. And then when
you don't sound like you trust yourself right there.
Because the lack of trust comes from I don't know how much of that is a toxic misbelief and how much of it is true. And that's something that I'm still learning in my own journey.
I feel like you need to ask your body that.
Yeah, that's a different episode.
Just a random therapeutic.
Just a little check-in.
Just a little check-in.
Just a little check-in. Do we think
that maybe? Let's see what happens. Anyways,
that's okay. So when I first discovered the idea of feminine energy, I was like, masculine energy, the worst. And I tried to go full divine femme. I was like, I'm going to wear florals and I'm going to do this and I'm going to, and all of my masculine traits, I kind of put in a metaphorical jar. And I was like, I shan't be that anymore. That's bad. No. Then I learned a little bit more and I was like, wait a minute, we need both and they need to work together and be a system. A unit of harmony within.
A unit of harmony
and within. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, it's true. It is true. And so don't villainize your masculine traits that we all have. The masculine is not evil. Divine feminine energy is wild and powerful and intuitive and sensual and is your inner magnet.
Inner magnet.
I
love that. All about the magnetism these days.
Yes. So yeah, those are things that you could be doing, are most likely doing, should stop doing, that are harming your feminine energy. And it's pretty common to have wounded feminine energy, but here are some quick signs of you having wounded feminine energy. So low self-esteem. You use manipulation to get what you want. That one's a little bit of a gray area, which we will talk about more in Dark Femme. But just to give you a basement understanding, manipulative actions are a sign of wounded feminine energy. You're overly needy. You have weak boundaries. You people please. And are you okay over there?
No, when I was writing this down, I was like,
And you have a deep mistrust for men or the masculine in general. And there's probably good reasons for that, but we'll get into that later. So, she's fine over there, everybody.
I'm fine.
I'm also fine. I'm trying to be very analytical, but I am hurting my own feelings here. Okay. So here's some actionable steps to heal and activate your feminine energy. And we're going to go through these pretty quick, make some notes. We'll dive deeper into them in future episodes. So, number 1. Spend time being present and intentional. No multitasking. Surround yourself with other feminine creatures, people, idols. I don't know why I said creatures. I don't know. Because you can't say feminine women.
No, I know.
So I said creatures.
People. We like to hang out with people.
We do like to.
And dogs.
Cats are feminine. Anyways. We have this whole cat and dog thing that we just don't fucking talk about.
We just sweep it under the rug.
We just sweep it under the rug. We just don't talk about it.
We ignore the street.
Yeah, so surround yourself with other feminine beings. Can I say beings?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And try to make your world, your environment more feminine. So incorporate light, flowy colors, flowers, plants into your home and things like that. Wear colorful clothing or jewelry. Yeah, just try to I understand you're wearing black. I can see you out of the corner of my eye. You can also wear black.
I have color.
You can also wear black to unlock your dark femme. That's a different episode, Chelynne.
I know.
Focused. I'm trying to be focused. Partake in rest, intentional rest, and self-care time and me time. That's very, very feminine to do. Not to constantly be hustling and working and grinding and all of those things. Fun, sensual movement is really good. I know that I was very in tune with my divine femme when I used to be a bar star and dance all the time.
Yeah, dancing's my go to.
Yeah, and yoga.
I love dancing
and walking.
and yoga and walking.
Being in nature.
I love all those things.
Being in nature.
Yeah.
Cycle syncing also as well is very good to tap into your divine feminine, because there's so much inner strength and power that comes from knowing your cycle. And
like getting into like flow, right? Like the ebb and flow, that things are always changing and moving. Yeah. That's very feminine.
Yes, absolutely. Flowing is a huge part of being feminine. Embracing pleasure in all forms. Every time you masturbate, you're a little bit closer to divine feminine. Just saying, just putting it out there. But pleasure in all forms really means all forms. So enjoying your food slower, eating food that gives you pleasure, watching movies that give you pleasure, listening to music that gives you pleasure, spending time with people that tap into that part of your brain.
Yeah. I've said it before too, like make a list of things that bring you pleasure.
Yeah. Have a box of things that give you pleasure, your favorite chocolate, a toy.
I was going to say a vibrator. A box.
Yeah.
Chocolate and a vibrator.
Listen.
That sounds like a really fun experience. That sounds like a good Mother's Day gift.
That does sound like a good Mother's Day gift. But let's not sponsor us.
A vibrator and some chocolates and
the house to yourself for 3 hours.
A house to yourself?
Yeah. A cabin in the woods to do whatever you must do out there and connect with nature.
Yeah.
Swimming is also really good for your divine feminine energy. Yeah. Water, because water is flowing.
Water is flowy. Water is very... Same with your chakra.
Yes.
Sacral chakra is water-based and is of the feminine energy. Yes. And masculine as well, obviously. But for different reasons, but like...
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
And truly, like, when you're in that pleasure center, like in that mindset of pleasure, dive into it. Yeah. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't be like, I should be doing other things. Like, dive headfirst into the pool of pleasure. That metaphor doesn't work, but stay with me here. and just be in it, be submerged in it, so that you can get the full benefits of it.
Present and intentional.
Yeah.
Ground into that.
Absolutely.
That moment.
And speak to yourself the way that you would speak to your daughter or your sister or your best friend or your inner child. Having a really positive, loving, nurturing inner monologue is so important for your feminine energy.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't say it to your best friend or your child, don't say it to yourself.
Say it to yourself.
And then the very last point is to nourish your body and make sure you're eating whole foods, healthy foods, really, really good foods. You're not starving your body. You're not too locked into diet culture. Obviously make healthy choices, but don't be starving yourself, because it's just going to make you weaker, and you're going to have less energy, physical energy, to do the inner work and the shadow work and showing up for yourself and showing up for the people around you. So drink your water and eat your food, vegetables and all of that jazz, and work out and just take care of yourself.
Just take care of yourself. Physically take care of yourself.
So that you can mentally and
emotionally, energetically take care of yourself too.
Yeah. Throttling myself in my...
Are you getting it?
Am I getting it? Did you get it? Are you saying the words? And then, of course, to like really reach the highest form of your divine feminine, your inner divine masculine has to also be up there and growing and changing as well. And yes, we're going to leave the deeper dive for masculine for the next episode, but it really does work together, because the masculine protects and provides for the feminine so she can flourish and grow and be nurtured.
And then it circles.
Yeah. And the feminine nourishes the masculine, and the masculine protects the bit, and it all goes around and around.
Goes around and around.
So when the feminine is, and again, this is internal, so when the feminine is balanced with her masculine inside, it's like a joyful embrace, and allows you to fully embrace yourself. So like the masculine and the feminine inside of you working together and embracing then leads you to be able to fully embrace yourself, and then the world around you as well, which will lead to like a fulfilled, balanced life where you get to reach your higher power. This is not an overnight thing. It's a lifelong journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
All healing is.
And not linear, as we said.
It's lifelong.
And just keep in mind that the world, the way society is currently built, it is working against us in so many ways. Not only feminine, female creatures, beings. I don't know why I keep saying creatures. Just go with it. My feminine energy just wants to say it. Beings is not even masculine men, not even men, people who are more highly in tune with being masculine are happy, because the society is built, as I said, on masculine principles, but they've been twisted and they've been turned so toxic that men cannot be divine masculine, typically. And their feminine is also so wounded as well. So it's very hard, no matter who you are, what gender expression identity you are, it's just hard out there. So do your inner work so that
Guess what?
You can help other people.
We're all fucked up.
Thank you, Chelynne. What a positive note.
But
there's hope.
We can get higher. I don't know why I keep going on this. If we heal one, then we heal the collective.
Yeah.
And then the collective also heals the one.
Oh!
That's the point I'm getting at.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. So yes, as I said, divine feminine and divine masculine are within each other, fulfilling the other, no beginning, no end. Swirly. Yin-yang symbol. One cannot exist without the other, such as light cannot exist without the dark. Yes. It's all connected. And are you okay?
It's all connected.
It's all connected. She gets very excited when things connect. And all things do connect. She gets excited a lot.
I like connections.
So yin-yang symbol. Picture it with me. The yang is your masculine.
Should I draw it again?
Sure. Your yang is your masculine energy, and that's lightness. It's external radiance because it produces the things, right?
I'm going to draw a quick one for us.
Okay. And then your yin, your yin is the feminine energy, and it is your internal radiance. Think of it more like a womb, and I'm going to get really scientifical here. I don't know if you can say you're being scientifical if you use the word scientifical. So just like we need both the sperm and the egg to create new life, we each individually have masc and femme energy inside us to work together. That's it. So the masculine energy, think of it like the metaphor of the sperm going into the empty dark womb. That's the external radiance, and then the internal radiance, and they work together and they make the metaphorical baby that is the greatness of you. Yes? Yes.
Yes.
Sure. So, for everybody watching, here we go.
That's my super quick yin and yang.
Oh, this needs to be dark.
Oh, wait.
There we go.
Did it.
So, they both have pieces of each other, and they swoosh and swirl together. So, when you have your yin and yang symbol, and they are fully embodied, and because it's a moving thing, right? So when it is fully embodied within you to whatever your personal harmony is, maybe it is 80% masculine, 20% feminine. Maybe it is 30% masculine and 70% feminine. I'm really proud of me for doing those numbers without messing them up.
Good job.
Thank you. And so everybody's going to be different, and it's going to be trial and error. Maybe you are more feminine, maybe you are more masculine, maybe you are 50-50 down the middle. So when you discover your harmony through trial and error and exploration and experimentation, you will then become your whole true divine self. No big deal.
Yeah.
No pressure.
pressure.
And hopefully over the series of the episodes this year, as we dive deeper into this ideal as well and share it with you, hopefully we can all get there together. That's my goal.
Yeah.
That's my
I like the connection and the oneness.
Thank you for joining our conversation about divine feminine energy and introducing the concept of masculine and feminine energy and all of that jazz. We're going to deeper dive into it in future episodes.
You can find us at the Energy Within podcast, and that's on all platforms. Our next episode is going to be the same thing, but the flip side of it, and it's the masculine side of things.
I'm pretty pumped about that.
I don't know what else we're going to talk about that, because I don't know very much about this topic. But that's okay.
You're going to learn.
I'm going to learn, and that's why I'm here. That's why we're doing it, so that people can learn, so that I can learn.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can learn more.
You can learn more. You can learn more through teaching it.
Deeper understanding. Yeah, and like I am someone with a very wounded masculine and a very wounded feminine, so like.
And by the sounds of it, me too.
And we'll dive into wounded masculine next episode.
Thank you again for listening to our conversation. We hope that you see your power and your energy today. Bye!